It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for my gamers. Would you be one? Could you be one? It's out about thunder, but don't despair. This colony's breeding great robbers. Would you be one? Could you be one? If the 80% mortality rate works for you, for a few bucks a month you can sign up and have the Hobbs kill you. So let's make the most of another Sunday. Brew up some coffee and play it my way. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my gamers? Won't you please, please won't you be my gamers?
Hello everyone. Welcome to Mr. Hobbs' Gamerhood. I don't even know what I am in this. I always say that, and then I feel like I should say, I am da-da-da, but I don't know what I am. What does Mr. Rogers say when he says it? Does anybody know? No? It doesn't matter. Anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel. Hobbs Twitch 665. Oh, Hobbs 665 Twitch? I don't know. Today, we're playing Old School Essentials. This is the monster book. I don't know why I showed that one. For some reason, it was just on top. There you go. Here, this is the black tome that I use. Usually. It is Thursday. Tuesday nights, not Thursday Justice.
It's Thursday somewhere.
Is it though?
Anyway, we cannot... I was going to say... I got my Gradient Descent today. So if you guys play Mothership and you want...
I just had to cancel my order.
You want... Because you got mad at them?
Well, no, because they ordered in August and they still didn't ship anything. No PDFs, no nothing. So it's just like, just refund me.
Well, I got it. So then you can play Mothership with me, Aaron. No problem.
Cool.
Ready?
Someday.
I also... Oh! New camera angle. Woo woo. I also got a longer USB extension, so now I got one from that side so you can see my small little gaming bookshelf and such over there. And I got this side in sepia. Do we say? I don't remember. It's one of those. Anyway, you can't have a game without players. Let's head over to the round table and meet our players. All right. We'll save you for last. Elliot, would you guys introduce yourselves and your characters? Gabriel.
Hey, Gabriel here from Uruguay or Spain. Hello, everyone. I'm playing Akemog and Savory. He has recently survived close encounter with death. Left some scars. Let's see how it goes tonight.
As always, we never know what's going to happen on Mr. Hobbs' Gamerhood. Or the White Sands. Taylor is muted. No?
Yeah, no, he was. I am Taylor. I will be playing Hadia Al-Amakan, a magic user hiding from her past and wearing a comically undersized Christmas hat.
And drinking something. What are you drinking today, Taylor?
This is the Leinen Kugel Vanilla Seasonal Porter. It's classy enough. It's classy enough to get a glass.
I can see why you didn't say it ahead of time. We skipped you, Gabriel. Sorry, what are you drinking, Gabriel?
It's called 7 and 3. The 3 parts wine, red wine, and 7 parts
Everclear.
Soda.
Oh, soda.
Yeah. Used to drink those in college. One part Everclear, one part Sam's Choice lemonade.
What kind of soda do you put with wine?
Coke.
Coke? Okay, I was going to say like a Mountain Dew or what? I don't know. We got on a
tangent. Mountain Dew also.
All right. Aaron.
Mountain Dew with a Pinot Grigio.
There you go. Oh, is that the plan? I see. Aaron, what's up, buddy? Uh-oh.
Hi. Wife's brought me a snack. Thank you, wife.
You can introduce her while you're introducing yourself if you'd like.
It's my lovely wife, Emily.
Hey,
so
Emily.
Hi, Emily.
You're on Twitch and then on YouTube forever. Sorry. Who you playing, Aaron?
I'm Aaron Clark. I'm playing Hethan, cleric of Khalifa.
Nice, Stu.
I am Stu. I am playing Galdul, an ex-mercenary from the Company of Sharp Blades. He has a permanent jaw injury, and he's now a free agent going out and about in the desert with these knuckleheads.
Galdel the Mumbler.
Yeah. I might need to adopt that.
I think it's good.
I'd tell you to type that in, but I'd ask you to mute first. I'm just kidding. Actually, when you say Galdel, a.k.a. Mumbles, that reminds me of, that makes me think of Glenn Cook's, what the heck is the mercenary company?
The Black Company, yeah.
The Black Company, when they all have a name. They did, Steven Erikson did the same thing because it's also kind of military, high fantasy fiction. And it follows a lot of soldiers, and they all go by, a single name. If any of you guys have read Malazan, Book of the Fallen. Anyhow, I guess there's an elephant in the room. The guy we've been talking about for 4 sessions that's been blowing us off. Go ahead, Elliot.
All right. Yep, I'm Elliot, and it's good to be able to finally jump onto this game with you guys. Life has gotten in the way, so unfortunately, it's been a little bit of a trek to be able to do that. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm playing Saad Samir, who will be a new character, obviously. He's a fighter and, more importantly, a beastmaster who is coming out to the White Sands to hunt some monsters. And from my understanding, from listening to some of y'all's games before, apparently I'm a little bit infamous for having characters do a lot of stuff and then die very quickly. So we'll see if that still holds.
Who said that?
Y'all did in the first session.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about your... oh, no, that wasn't you. That was JDR I was thinking of. Not something from... I guess
Elmore.
I get confused. I think there's always one guy in each campaign that, or in each group that I play with. They, I like in the background, we have like people arguing in Spanish from Uruguay. Anyway, there's always one guy who loses a lot of characters, it seems like. No one has broken Hawk's record of 8 characters in 15 sessions, though. So let's give it for him in the GRGA, everybody. Good work. Good work, Hawk.
I've only had two in 2 sessions. The Talok, and then I don't even remember what the name of my cleric was because he didn't last long enough to be rememberable.
That is true. I don't remember him either. All right, so Aaron, you want to go? Recap?
Oh, sure. You asked for a recap. Do we want to look at the map or where we
want
were?
me to?
Sure. We had been down in this.
All right, let's go to the tabletop. You
We
want
had gone out to the shifting sands to reconnoiter a village or a town that had been unveiled by the sands that Galdal had been out to and fought some terrible beast. And we'd gone back there and we made a deal with some bandits that had been trying to set up an ambush against us, and we'd sort of talked our way out and promised to return to them a portion of the treasure beneath this in this cave that they didn't want to go into. So we descended into that cave and had gone like 2 or 3 levels into this cave where in last session we had fought this giant sort of troll creature that was possessed by these spider ticks, and he was controlled by this big giant spider tick. We burned that troll with some fire and some careful play, but only to be set upon by more spider ticks and then zombies. And I think that was everything, right, guys? I can't remember if there were any other enemies that we had fought, but it was just wave after wave of enemies as we tried to climb up to this parapet and recover this chest, only to be set upon by more enemies. So
I think
We
you're
decided-
exaggerating. That
I don't
it
know.
was
I think there
that
were a lot.
many. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Just wave after wave.
So we decided discretion was a better part of valor, and we just thought we would sneak out of the cave through another direction. And Galdel, the mumbler, was leading us out of the cave using his dwarven senses, like this way's up, and then we ran into, when we were beset by yet another monster, a giant millipede with a man's face.
It's kind of
Which Elliot is going to be playing, right?
This is Elliot's character, the Milliman. No.
Hey, welcome to the party, horrific beast.
What ho, worm god?
All right.
It might have been a better idea for my character, actually.
Yeah, that creature looks pretty tough compared to a first level OSE character.
Maybe he's inside the creature to rescue him.
God, that sounds so terrible.
Well, funny.
It's funny you say that, Gabriel. All right, so excellently done, Aaron. Good job. 1 XP. You can use your bonus your stat bonus XP for that to go up to 1.15 if you'd like.
1 point. Dare you?
And I believe Hadia was just edging away, and the creature was getting a little excitable about that. You guys were in the midst of talking, having a good time. What the shit?
Yep, I believe that was the direct quote when we saw it the first time.
What the shit? Oh, God. Oh, here we are. I have named this creature so many different names that I'm getting confused by which is the correct one. But you know what? It doesn't matter what I think it should be called. It only matters what you guys think it should be called. I really like that aspect out of DCC, the concept of letting the players decide what things should be called, because I think that helps them remember it or whatever. So that's why I name things like Horrific Beast and Small Creature and that sort of thing when I'm trying to show handouts instead of like the names of stuff. Oh, I meant to mention that I am drinking crystal clear H2O Mr. Goodwater out of my infamous Zip Zap by Ray Otis Gaming and BS glass. Gamehole Con 2018, I believe. So beat that, you sons of biscuits. All right. You guys are talking to this creature and dihydrate. I don't even know what that means.
Press on, Hobbs.
Hydro homies. I'm lost. I sometimes wonder if I should put the chat in here so people on YouTube can see what the hell we're talking about half the time. But it's almost beyond me. We'll see. All right. Anyhow, Aquaphobe. Oh, Gabriel doesn't have any names. I'll find your names, Gabriel. Sorry, buddy. He is the unknown element, the hidden soldier. It got put over. There's Gabe. And here is... Gabe's like, no one knows who I am. All of my people will be angry. Akamook. There you go. All right, so what are you guys going to do?
So I think we were trying to just tell it that we were just passing through.
Yeah, I feel like maybe you didn't roll a very good mumble roll.
I mean, good thing we can just scroll up because it was an 8.
Did that include... Yep, +2, -2. You put it all in there. It looks like something weird happened here. And that's when you guys can hear someone from another, a voice somewhere else. Help me.
Coming from where?
One of these chambers.
Coming from this way?
No.
Coming from behind.
And you can see the creature kind of like a quiver runs along it as its millipede legs kind of and its long body, so long that it's outside of the light, kind of truncates a little bit, shortens and thickens as it's kind of shifting around.
So I guess I would look at it.
Pay no mind to the voices.
What was that?
Pay no mind. Even such as I must eat, I fear.
Saad, you can make a strength check at a minus. Let's see, you've been working on this for a while. At a -3. You've been in the dark for a while and quite dehydrated. You guys also hear kind of a loud, kind of brittle-ish cracking sound.
Coming from where?
Somewhere in the caverns.
Oh, all right.
All right, he says.
Did the creature react to the brittle cracking sound?
Yeah, I think he probably did. So he kind of shifts around and smashes his body up against this side. So his face never gets closer to you guys. But his body kind of shifts over. And so like the light that you could see, Saad, it kind of dims and you can see the backside of the creature. Can you see anything at all right now, Elliot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see
them, but you can't see. Can you? And you can see yourself, right?
I can't see from myself. No, I can just see myself up.
Yeah.
Corner.
And you can see light, though, right?
And yeah, I can see all this is
Okay.
lit up.
Yeah, and that makes sense to me. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Jason,
Hadia will step back unthreateningly.
Okay. Akamuk, you have something to say, Gabe?
he's gonna whisper to Hethen that's beside him. Do you have some rations? Throw him some rations. It's hungry, so we can leave.
I'll pipe up. I'll ask. We are but travelers seeking our way out.
What travelers? Whatever does that mean?
Sorry, go ahead.
It means we live elsewhere and seek to go home. Who are you? If it is our privilege to ask, who are you that may live down in where we trod?
He seems to pause and he seems confused for a moment.
Have no name.
Perhaps we can find one for you.
My maker only spoke one thing. Vos.
Those.
What is that?
That's as good. That is as good a name as any, if you would take it.
Didn't you guys recognize that name at all?
Oh yeah, that's the god of super crazy, I think. So the Prince of Madness.
Madness, right?
Yeah.
So you can hear them talking, Saad. Also in here, you can kind of see it looks like there have been other people just from the dim light. Oh, that's in here. I wonder if I can do this. It looks like there's other people who have been in the had the same thing happen to you. That's happened to you, and it's super dim in here, but it looks like at least one of them was probably a dwarf. And so there are like some items, but they're all covered in this brittle, brittle looking, but it's strong because you've been down here long enough and trapped in it that you know that it's fairly difficult to escape. You finally got through.
Right. Presumably I have all of my stuff on me because it would have just encased me.
There's no reason for it to have taken into any of that.
Yep.
So, so he's kind of like the creature always kind of seems to be in motion. It's easily, 20, 30 feet long. And the head itself is half the size of a man, or probably close to the size of a dwarf. So sometimes if it comes close to look at you, you can even see, it's got multiple mouths and the eyes go around. It's kind of purplish hue with a weird porcupine-ish quills swept back almost like hair around these large, almost like a leathery cilia that come off of its side that shift about when it's talking, and its voice kind of does that unbalanced staccato cacophony almost of clicking and speech.
I ask him what he likes to eat.
Are these choices that we can make?
I take out a salted yakim head, and I like toss it like just in my palm, like up in the air, like I'm playing with it. Do you like?
Is it pickled or salted?
I think they're like salted because otherwise, like there'd be like moisture in the sack, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, can't abide those moist sacks.
I regret.
You're resistant.
There was a lot of sack talk last session too. I was wondering who was going to bring it up first.
Bleeding over a bit. I will address it also. Let's see. Saidi.
I'll roll it. Sorry, go ahead,
Taylor. Go ahead. You can finish.
I was going to indicate that this is like tasty, salted, and crunchy, and I was going to roll it down the tunnel this way if I heard the cry for help over here.
Let's see how this works out for you. Why don't you roll? We'll go back to my Arnesonian method. Roll 2d6. The higher the roll, the better. And doubles mean more, right? If it's low roll double, then that's like double bad. If it's high roll double, that's like double good.
All right.
So that's a low roll. So, and it's not double bad, but it's still pretty bad. There's only like a few things that could possibly be worse than that. So its head kind of stretches up its body, and its head rises. The crackling of the torches seem kind of mute behind as his head starts to loom forward. The two central eyes, big, almost the size of easily the size of like a Galdal's wide open mouth if he could open his mouth wide, and his back legs kind of shift around and stop the head. Do you take me as some domesticated pet? Now, did you say you're going to say something? Hadia was going to say something?
Yeah. Hadia will let's see. We surely you are far too great to be a domesticated pet. But I'll take out. I had some standard ration that I had brought with me. We have Saidi Vos. We have more than we are blessed with more than we have need of. Perhaps we can learn from one another. Now we'll try to take out. I'll take out a ration or two and kind of slide them towards it. Not wanting to toss, so to speak, not wanting to kind of jut towards, but to offer in a non-conciliatory but also non-threatening manner.
So this thing kind of shifts and moves almost like a snake as well. And you can see that it's like pushing the head up its body with these with its legs as its body kind of shifts, and it's kind of coming closer and closer. And it kind of skittles down and scoops up your rations with one hand, and then you can see it brings up the head with the other, and these mandibles that almost have like multiple sets of teeth, and the tongue inside looks like it's forked and kind of can move things and like almost maybe draw edibles deeper into its mouth, and it like crunches into the Yakim skull, and you can hear it crack and easily be enough to obviously crack skulls, so it can bust bones with the strength of its jaws. And it kind of hunches down in on itself as it's kind of munching on this head. It seems like for this momentary second, it almost doesn't seem like it's paying attention to you.
Gotta go.
I know. It's you said it's dim light. As I look around the chamber that I'm in, are there any other exits, or does this look like the only one is to the south?
All the light is to the south. You don't see any in here.
Okay.
Yep. While it's chewing, I'll pipe up. Forgive us, Wormvos. Forgive us our inexperience. We don't, having never met one of your nature before, we don't know what to share. But you mention your creator. Do you know of other creations that may live in these warrens?
Right now, he seems like he is eating still, so he almost seems oblivious to you for a little bit.
While I'm hearing them talk, can I be moving quietly up towards the entrance here to try to just get a better view of what's going on?
Yeah, roll 2d6. Same situation for you here. All right, so pretty much in the middle. You can hear this stuff kind of crackling beneath your feet, whatever this shit is that's there. Let me see here. Maybe I lied to you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's like some change around, some different coins and stuff, but there's not really anything else here. And then you see those guys there, and I think Galdal said that you should leave, but I don't know. Is anyone doing that, or what are you guys doing?
If we have more rations, we can leave them as an offering and retreat like.
That's the plan. That's a great plan. I like that plan. So, if it is oblivious to us, we'll just kind of get recognize Galdal's runaway sign language. So, seeing that it liked the salted pickled Yakim head, I've actually got an iron ration too. I will leave that in front of it, assuming it's more salted and more akin to its expectation, or internally taking that gambit, and then try to step back towards the ascending passage.
And I'll drop all my rations in disgust as we try to sneak away here.
All right, you can see it looks like those people are leaving. And I believe, why don't we break into the round table momentarily, because we were talking about one of the possible. I always like to connect the characters to each other in some way or another. When I was talking to Elliot about it, we were thinking at so he was mentored by another beast hunter, and this was he broke off a little while ago, but while he was still being mentored, he would have been around in the city states. So it's possible that he knows Hadia or possibly Akamuk or both. So his profession is obviously going to be paid for, hopefully, by rich people, which would be Rajas, which would kind of possibly put him closer to where Hadia, in the circles Hadia moved in. But, I mean, the menagerie could be something that the gangs could have been interested in as well. So I think we were leaning towards Hadia knowing his character, but it would have been from this past that she's trying to hide from. So we didn't know how you felt about that, Taylor.
I feel like that's a juicy, juicy twist.
Yeah, and it would be interesting because we were, like I said, we were talking about it briefly, because the thing would be, you would probably, if you did recognize me, you would recognize me as the apprentice of the guy who like worked for the same Raja or have done jobs for the same Raja, basically. But then now I'm striking out as my own. So it could have actually been from some time ago, you know what I mean, whenever I was younger and you were younger still there too, that you actually, like, we knew each other and maybe haven't really interacted that much at all, or whatever. We can figure that out, you know, how much we actually did know each other. But I would have been an apprentice, and then I would just know you as, I guess, basically noble, right, from the house.
I'm pretty sure there's romantic interest. Look at Stu.
I just named the master that I served under. So it's Assad Kawahaja, who is also known as the Lion, colloquially.
All right. So with that information, let us return to the caves beneath the unveiled portion of Hava, or whatever city it was built on. And I don't know if you remember this part, Elliot, but you were hired to bring this beast back.
Right, yeah. Technically, Imset al-Jahudi hired me.
It sounds way funnier when you pronounce it like that. Jahudi. Show me your booty, Jahudi. No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I probably just wrote it, and so I was laughing at my own name.
Yeah, so he hired me to go get this creature, but gave me very little information. And so then I ended up, this was like one of my first like big jobs myself, and he sent several men with me. And then we went in and then realized very quickly we were way over our heads, when it is obviously like a much more sentient being rather than just some monster that he wanted us to capture.
So that is all pretty meta, because obviously they don't even know you're there yet, but you do recognize Hadia as she is talking to this, whatever it is, this Shimerian creature. When I say Shimerian, like built up, metamorphosis, built up of a lot of different parts. So what do you do, Saad?
So I think I'm going to, if I hear them saying that they're going to go, and I can obviously see from the corner here that the creature is eating, and I kind of get low and sort of start to like edge my way around, keeping close to the wall around the corner and just keeping an eye on it. As I'm trying to move and just kind of blend in with the wall and like move around to the outside of this entrance, but ready to just like bolt for now. To be, to regroup away from this creature.
All right. So as you guys are heading out, you see someone kind of duck walk, crab walk out. Crab walk would probably be weird, but duck walking is okay. Duck walks around the corner from this other chamber here. He's dressed as Probably Rajani, I would say, and unless you want to talk about Elliot, what do you look like here?
Yeah. Well, so he's wearing probably the most of the normal clothes for the Karaman, except that he has a like furs over his shoulders of probably furs that you've never really seen before from some cat. We in the real world would know it as like basically like a cheetah or something, but it would be a creature that's not like you've never seen that kind of pattern or whatever before. And then he has just the like traditional kind of loose garb of Karaman. Other than that, holds a sword and has a shield on his back.
I think it's up to you, Taylor, if Hadia recognizes him or not.
She does not. Oh.
All right, but usually the bonds are close enough that you are, want to help each other. If you did recognize, that's what they're there for, is to like make the bond the group together, right? So
she totally does.
But you don't have to. No, you don't. I'm not saying that she has to recognize him. I'm just saying if she did, then that would be like, oh, this is someone that I would want to help if I could. But you don't have to recognize him in this situation. I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. So I'm just thinking about it. I was just rolling dice because why not? I was actually expecting to succeed because she's very unlikely to fail imp checks. But yeah.
There's a reason, though. I mean, it's dark. You've been through a pretty horrific time, so.
Actually, and if we were younger, then you might not recognize me immediately if I'm older too.
Yep, I like that. It's dim shadow, so she doesn't necessarily recognize you at first, and then so the first impression is living like human. So coming out of a creature that says, "Well, I gotta eat," I'm like, "Oh, gee, I wonder what he's eating." Since I'm seeing him eating skulls, so the first instinct is going to be, "Okay, let's get out of under here." She may think that you were part of the bandits upstairs. She doesn't know, but the first instinct is let's slip out of here alongside this prospective meal. And then as we get into brighter light, the recognition suddenly dawns, and she begins to wonder if her identity might be compromised.
Does Saad comes out of the cave with any weapons in his hands?
Sword, he said.
Yeah, he has a sword in his hand.
Okay, so I mean, some guy come out of the shadows, kind of creeping. Akim is kind of ready an arrow. He doesn't know the intentions of this.
I did
guy.
say that I was specifically kind of shielding against the wall and looking straight at the creature, so I don't seem to be that focused on all of you.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, seems more concerned about the creature.
Mm-hmm. Inching my way this way. Does the passage seem to terminate, or does it look like there may be an exit if we continue up this direction?
It seems to end, but it does, like I said, raise, and there's a bunch of like rubble and such at the end of it.
Okay. So we may want to retreat south back the way we came.
You do spot, though, that there is like a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, we should still try for it.
So are you just all running towards it and allowing... Oh, I guess I should probably...
Well, like I think it's reasonable for Galadel to be cautious of this new person coming out. Like I assume Galadel would be the one staying, like trying to motion people behind him to get into the tunnel, and he would be sort of considering this new person cautiously. But like it's not that hard to read the room, right? Like we heard someone like call for help. This thing indicated it had to eat. Like I think I would be cautious, but I don't know that I'm going to feel threatened by someone sneaking past the creature. So
Yeah, cool with me, man.
So I'm gonna like step backwards and like kind of maybe eye the newcomer and like kind of like I've got my short sword and my shield in my hand, but just kind of like almost like shrug, with my hands as this person comes around the corner.
All right. So the creature seems occupied still, but it seems to notice, and you can hear it like it's saying something. Did they flee? Do I chase them? Like it's almost talking to itself. Like it's not used to having conversations with others. Hethan, when you get to the edge, you can see that it looks like almost a shaft, a strange and unwieldy. It's not just like a straight up shaft. It like kind of moves over like a very cavernous just pit that is kind of rolled up, but there's lots of different handholds and footholds to climb up.
Okay, can I start making my way up this passageway?
It's going to be kind of hard with a torch and slow. It's not like you can't do it. You're just going to be slower. Okay, so Hethan starts climbing up. Hadia, is anyone else going over there, or what? What are you guys doing?
Hadia gestures and kind of moves back, assuming folks will follow, and that she's carrying the only remaining light source.
I'm going to try to back from the creature without like drawing too much attention to myself from it. Still just fixated on the creature because I see the others around, but I just assume hopefully they're not going to attack me.
Okay, Akamuk, what'd you say?
Yeah, he's gonna start backing from the creature. Looking at the creature and at this newcomer, taking eyes from both of them or any of them, so as he kind of goes backwards.
All right, Galdal. So basically, you guys are slowly approaching this shaft that's leading up. That's the impression I'm getting.
Yeah, let's slowly backing away from the creature, and maybe particularly if like, say if Saad makes his way like right beside me, I would try to kind of give him the look, like kind of like give like the raised chin, like are we good here? Like pointing our like shield back at the creature.
Yeah, I kind of like nod and like motion like let's move back.
All right.
I moved us back to the round table so you could show us this this bro look that you're talking about, Stu. I'm just curious what it looks like.
I have to do it again.
I missed it, so yeah. No.
I mean, it wasn't that complicated. It was just kind of like the
nod.
We good here?
You gave him the nod, the single nod. I like it. Hey, I'm in chat now. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show. All right, so it sounds like you guys are slowly moving back, and then so you are. Hethan is not fucking around. Hethan took off already. It's climbing up. Akamuk, you're covering with a bow. Is Hadia going up?
That's the plan. She would probably try to go up later rather than sooner. She appreciates she's probably not the best person to go up last, but knowing that she's carrying a lantern makes part of that decision for her. So yeah, she's intending to wander up if given the opportunity.
All right. So it seems like you guys maybe Hadia is right up there. Hethan's been climbing, for close to a minute or something. Nah, maybe not even that long. It probably feels like an hour as you're waiting, and you can hear it. Oh, the last little bits.
Yep, I would, hoping that we are further than whisper earshot, I will whisper to my colleagues that we may want to hurry up this here shaft.
With that, Galdal and Saad kind of glance back momentarily, and then out of the darkness, you can hear as this thing starts to move in. I'm still hungry. Akamuk.
You have any more?
Remember that Hethan left some rations on the floor before he left. Just
yeah, 7 standard rations.
I remember.
Okay.
I just have to roll reactions, so.
Okay.
So
We left some standard. We left some iron. So if it doesn't like either of those, we're hopefully Galdal has a spare Yakim head / Tic Tac.
I mean, I'm sure I do, but I'm not convinced that's going to do it at this point. But like, yeah. So if he said he's still hungry, I would try to engage and be like, "Well, we have more food."
So I mean,
I'm gonna-
it's like you can kind of hear the feet in the background coming up, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like his face is like bursting almost out of the darkness right in front of you.
Is the floor stone or
Yes.
sand?
Stone. Or is it sandstone?
I mean, I'll try to get like a Yakim head, and then I'll like throw it at the face and be like, "Well, then eat and leave us be."
All right. Well, let's see what happens with that.
All he's doing on
okay,
our own. Or
we're gonna wait for Galdal's lead. If he attacks, he'll support him. But just gonna wait.
All right, Saad. What did you say? You wanted to do something or wait?
Oh, I was going to say, as we're still trying to back up, I was going to slip a flask of oil from my pack and just start draining it on the floor, basically, as we're backing up.
Okay. All right. So it catches the head and it kind of bobbles with it with these weird, like almost like short little T-Rex arms that are like surrounding its face and its mouth chittering back and forth and the mandible inside its mouth clicking away as another head. So you guys move
delicious
back.
heads.
If only I had a sack.
What was that?
If only I had a sack, I said. Sorry. Bad joke.
Yeah. Suppressing another follow-up bad joke.
It's so one flask is supposed to do a 5-foot square. So the one in front of Saad or the one in front of Galdal, probably Saad.
Yeah, makes sense.
And
right.
I'll take another head, and I've kind of used them as my signature item, Hobbs. I kind of feel like in my head, maybe like 6 to 7 were in a bag. Like I don't know how many of these things I was carrying around, but I'd like to take another one out. I'm also fine rolling for how many I had if you want. I'm good with that. But maybe
how many charges you have left in the Yakim sack?
Yeah. Do like a D4 maybe? I don't know.
I've got a vision. I've got a vision of like one of those Yukon potatoes things you can get. It's like 20 pounds, hundreds of little.
Yeah.
It's just dozens of Yakim heads.
And I might take another one out and kind of roll it this way to where like it definitely touches some of the oil, and like kind of just roll it towards the creature, but go through the oil a little bit.
Sure. All right. So Hethan, you have been heading up here for. Oh, I almost forgot how to do it. There's a way that you can like put a timer on, but I don't remember what it is. I'll just do dice.
A timer on like the
on the token. You can like put a number on the token that'll show up. But I forgot how to do it. So like you could put an actual one of the things, like you could put the boot on there and say, okay, this is like he's lame for 6 rounds, and so you could put a 6 on there and then take it down each round. Pretty cool, but I don't remember how to do it. If only Arlen Walker was in the chat and could tell me how to do it, that would be fantastic. What are you grinning about, Taylor? You just have too much fun in this game, sir.
I have all of the fun that is appropriate.
I like it. I'm happy with that. All right, let's see what this guy. One last reaction roll to see how all of this madness plays out. All right, it looks like he's kind of. You guys can start climbing. It doesn't seem like he's coming any farther for now. But surely Vossworm will return at the most inappropriate moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hethan, you're going to have to relight a torch as you climb.
Oh, that was my last one.
Oh, boy.
So I guess I'll wait for my companions to catch up.
So you guys are down to one torch, right? So you're
I
trying
guess
to
I still have a lantern and a spare flask of oil.
I have torches in my backpack.
But I'm sure, like in the middle, because
Hadia
you're
wanna
like
reach?
right now, you guys are climbing up this shaft. That sometimes you'll find a space that you can walk in, and it shifts a little bit. I don't know if you remember, but when you were climbing down here, it was this really difficult, not a super difficult climb, but it was kind of a downward climb of something that had burrowed down inside here, and then like was moving around boulders and stuff. So as the dirt shifted away from those boulders, now it made the climb more difficult. So it's kind of like this verticality that you don't necessarily normally see. I use this is interesting. I'm using both legacy and it turned off. Cool. Oh, so this torch probably isn't still burning up here, unfortunately for y'all.
Yeah, it probably went out after like 6 sessions or however long it's been.
God, it hasn't been that long, has it?
No, but it feels that long when we're having so much fun.
It seems like the opposite of what I would expect for that to mean.
I'm improvising.
I like it. All right, so you guys
This
have
looks
made your...
like where we first fought the spider ticks, doesn't it?
Yes, you can see
Yep.
up there.
there
There's like a
should
bit of a
be-
stairwell right there. There were 2 holes down here. You guys went down that one, and now you've come up this one.
So
we went up the shaft down here.
Yes.
Okay. And Hadia, what like kind of clothes are you wearing? Like, do you look like ability?
she would be wearing very inconspicuous common clothing. She does not look like the same person you would have known.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I would say, like, as I'm moving past back up to like the front to, like, without, obviously not going to spare too many words here, but as I pass you, I kind of like put my head down slightly and say, "Your Excellence," but not very loud, like just to you. And maybe that's when you recognize me, like from, before, and then just kind of move past to take up like a position at the front.
This Hadia
And you said
respond to anything?
you had. Yep, you said you had apprenticed under the Lion, I think was the name.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. She is in she can think of no reply. She is somewhat of a surprised silence, but respectfully returns a greeting sentiment.
So I think you guys can just move Hadia's token as the party. Oh, I got them all selected, I guess. And is there anything you guys wanted to do up here? And believe it or not, you made it up with the chest. I'm assuming it's not that big of a chest. Someone probably could have like strapped it over their arm or something, or their shoulder, and tried to make it up. I'm assuming Hethan. Nah, probably not Hethan. Galdal or Akamuk.
Yeah, Akimok probably.
All right. So is there anything you guys wanted to do? Are you trying to head straight out of here or what?
I think maybe we should try to figure out what writings and stuff we've recovered, because there are a few items like the satchel with the vellum sheets and lamb's wool from the Raja, Mahamut, and then also the scroll case that we found in the chest. And the bandits are expecting some holy writings and 25% of our treasure. So we're going to have that complication to deal with because we weren't able to sneak out of here, right? We got kind of going back the same way we came.
Anyone remember how many there were? It was like the one main guy and like 4 to 6 lackeys. Was that?
Yeah, but I'm out of spells and I only have 1 hit point. So
Yeah, I'm pretty weak.
I can sling stuff from afar, but I'm just letting you know.
I'm pretty weak too. I was
And
just
I think
asking.
Akamuk is also kind of beat up.
Yeah.
Badly.
It's
Yeah.
pretty beat up.
Yep, as I remember, part of our motivation for trying to find an alternative exit was the potential to avoid bandits on our way out.
Well, yeah, we could keep all the stuff for ourselves,
Yeah.
right? But
And are y'all talking about this stuff openly, obviously?
yeah, I think so. I think
Because I'm around, but
yeah, and I think we're bringing you into the fold because you're the strongest sword amongst us right now.
Mhm.
So yeah, just to let you know, Elliot, you can see that Akamuk, who is, I think he is probably still dressed as maybe a Rajani, which would be like a city folk guy, but lots of wear and tear on his clothes. So he's been obviously a traveler, and he's carrying a wooden chest. So it's probably, maybe 2 feet, 1.5 to 2 feet long, and close to that in height as well. And it's just got like clasps on all 4 sides, as opposed to like the big. So it's just kind of like almost like a ammo crate, really. So like a wooden box with a top over it that has like clamps on it that hold it shut.
And would I remember the path that I took to get down here? Because obviously I got down here too at some point.
Actually, I think you got carried down here by the beast.
Okay, so it attacked me somewhere else in the...
Yeah, and it came in
the
another
area.
path where you were. So it has another way to get in and out where it's at.
Okay.
So while
And
we
you
are
could say that if you
there-
wanted to, because they're obviously searching for another way out.
Yeah, I would say...
Hething suggests to kind of pause here for a while and that's what you said, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, we have the scroll case and these the satchel with the vellum sheets. I'd like to know what they are, but I can't read. I'm a equivalent to a country bumpkin, right?
Okay.
I say, and it may not be wise to tarry here too long. That creature seemed to be able to move about relatively easily. It captured me further up from the other direction, but if we can climb up that channel back there, it surely can.
It wouldn't be a huge leap to guess that it might have dug some of these.
The only other way I know out of here is back the way that we came, past the creature down below.
The way that we came is over yonder. She gestures. Obviously, we can't ping, in real life, but so yeah, the way we came in was up this hall. There is a stair or a ladder, as I recall, into a village.
What the heck is that?
That's called theme.
Oh, well, it was just really loud all of a sudden. So
I turned it down. You can also control it in your own, so it can be however loud you want it to be.
well, I didn't know where it was coming through. So okay, it's through.
It's coming through
yeah,
Roll20, yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it just surprised me. Okay.
I keep thinking I'm going to spend some time and figure those out, but forgot to.
Well,
Yeah.
then, if you know the way out, then perhaps that's the better direction than facing the beast.
Mm-hmm. So we had come down.
So maybe we should set the scene a little bit. I think there are like corpses all around here, right?
Yeah.
Because you guys fought some Yakim here, and there is like an altar up here. You can see there's like mosaics along these walls that kind of depict something, but you're kind of in the middle of a conversation, so you don't necessarily remember. Maybe I'll actually go look what the hell it does I say about here. Yeah, it's like you can smell, probably not old blood, but you can see like there's alchemic, not like actual like phalambics or whatever, but like there's like herbalist stuff kind of laying around in different area. Bone fetishes litter the floor, covered in like savage-looking scrimshaw, and there's a black altar of basalt riddled with pock marks and brown stains.
Yeah, and there's evidence there of maddening magic and corrupting conjurations. Have none of it.
And how far is this entrance that you spoke of before?
That's another level
literally
above us, I believe.
Yeah, it's no more than 50 feet into the darkness. It's very close.
Bandits or something like that outside? Is that why you were apprehensive?
We
There are like half a dozen bandits, I guess.
we made a deal with them that we would retrieve the holy writings. We perhaps have we have a scroll. We found this scroll case, but we have not opened it. And then I want to say we had. I'm looking through my notes. Sorry, as a player, I make very illegible notes.
Well, we also have the satchel with the vellum sheets wrapped in lamb's wool that had a Rajani mark, a Raja mark on it.
Yep, that too.
But we haven't. So, Hadia, can you read these? I mean, can you make any sense of what it is we've discovered here besides the treasure, besides the derrick?
We found the Rajani symbol. As I recall, that was someone that Akimuk had worked with, maybe?
It matched the symbol from his ring.
Yep. And then the scroll case. Do we want to look at, do we want to potentially open it and look inside?
Yes. I'm asking you to do it.
All right. So Hadia will take the scroll case and look it over. Did you mention that there were writings or hieroglyphs on the case itself?
No, there are no. It looks actually fairly plain, and there may be like something put on there, but it looks like some kind of barbaric or more primitive dye. I'm assuming you guys are all kind of wrapped around looking at it at the same time, or no? Like Hethan, you think it's likely a Shadar tribe marking dyed on the outside of the case.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if you guys remember, but the whole the story was that the Shadar sacked a Rajani caravan, and this was the treasure from it. But they were also looking for holy writings that were, hidden or sequestered in the chest. Was the story that Intep gave you?
Mm-hmm. Cool. So we found this. Is it sealed, or does it look like I could just kind of pop the top on it?
It's probably sealed with, I don't know, honey wax, goat wax.
Goat wax.
Goat
Is there
wax.
such a thing as goat wax, or is that like smell?
There is now.
There.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what Bedouin type tribes would seal their scroll cases with to keep it. Probably just wax, right? Some kind of wax, like fat wax or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make wax from all sorts of things, tallow or whatever.
Maybe, yep.
I.e. goat wax.
Goat wax. Sacco. I don't know. Do you guys know what smegma is? Or is that a Northern Illinois thing? That's.
That was
Elliot's just shaking his head like, what? How did I get back into this game? Stu's like, this is serious gaming. I'm watching something on YouTube, cats or something.
I'm just waiting to win D&D. Can we just focus?
I'm in. I'm just trying to describe the stuff so you guys know. So reach down, check.
Okay, so the scroll case is apparently sealed with smegma. I don't want to open it.
The best way is by licking it. It is sealed.
That's the sound of people unsubscribing on Twitch.
I think we just got like 3 more viewers right then. They were telling everybody. You guys got to see this. The scroll case is sealed with goat wax and smegma. Oh my god, this is the best game ever. You can only see Stu's eye. He doesn't want his work finding him on here.
Oh goodness.
Anyway, what are you guys gonna do? Even Gabriel's laughing. What's going on?
I will.
I'm trying to get the magic user to tell us what all these writings are that we found, but it sounds like she's not.
She
hesitant to open the scroll case. Apparently, is she looking at the satchel as well, or no? Akamuk, you have a satchel, right?
Yeah, with a ring, but he can share those vellum sheets.
Do you want to look at those?
Did we find vellum sheets?
They're inside this satchel that you guys found in the shaman's chambers.
Oh, okay. I didn't write that down.
Hey, thanks for following Owa Lover. This is a game for you. It's a lover's game, Owa. Unless you're oval. Never mind. That didn't work.
I think the where we found the satchel was up here to the north, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And there's also this bronze pyramid-shaped container.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that Hadia kind of felt some magic lingering there.
Yep. That is all true.
I don't know if that can be.
Are you heading back down, Sod and Galdel, or are you just like hanging out back there to watch?
No, well, they're doing whatever with the scroll and stuff because they're obviously talking. I'm just going to light a torch, which I do have in my inventory, and move back to just keep a watch on the hole that we climbed up to listen and like keep a watch for any signs of the creature climbing.
So I think knowing that we're worried about that, we may want to make haste. I will try to open the scroll case, and worst case, I think the vellum things may be the writings that our Bedouin friends were looking for. So I'm very curious what's in this scroll case now that I've caught up on what we actually found.
Okay, so when you start looking at you're opening the scroll case or the vellum? Which one?
I will open this scroll case.
Okay, we open the scroll case, and it's very quickly evident that it is a map, and it shows a couple locations. around. Why don't you make an intelligence check at -5?
A success.
Ooh.
Somehow.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe you've seen some maps at some point or another, but you think it's kind of this relative area. So, like, there's like an oasis marked, there's like a large city marked, and there's like a town. You realize the town is likely Hava, but very significantly, there are 2 locations that like have like the equivalent of X, or maybe it's the Karamani word for gold or treasure, and they are located in 2 different areas. I haven't made this map or anything, so you're just gonna have to bear with me.
It's called Theater of Mind.
Al-Hashar Al-Hira, the Stone Trees, and Eredin Nahiri, Firetown. So that would be 030 and 030.037 and 020.033. You think it's quite possible that you could find your way to these locations?
Awesome.
They would be.
That's interesting.
They're to the. I think they're both to the south of Hava. They definitely don't look like any sort of religious writings. That's for sure. 030 and 020.
All right. So we can probably see Firetown and the Stone Trees.
Yep. So I'll do this quick. So by these markings that we're on, this is kind of your knowledge of the area. So they would be, let me see. This is kind of a cheap reveal because you didn't actually get here, because this is kind of a hex crawl sandbox, as well as, I guess that is what it would be called, just a hex crawl sandbox. 020, 033. So it kind of shows there, way down there, you see it?
Yep.
So that is known as Firetown. And the other is 030, 037. There.
Right.
And right now, you guys are about here.
So presumably that's Hava.
Yes.
The green. Okay.
Yep. And the big city was over this way.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
I will convey. What did I do? I broke my roll 20. I will convey my my findings to the group.
So
we
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We are here and we are down the corridor. I keep gonna whisper to Hadia, who's this guy? What do we found?
He was an apprentice under one of the nobles my family did business with when I was but a child. he has grown as have I in the intervening years.
Like, what is this? What is this? Like 5 years ago or something? Because I mean, you're not that old, right?
Correct. So 5 years is a long time when.
Yeah. That's what I'm just asking. You think if 4 or 5 years, is that about right to you, Elliot, or no?
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense.
All right, go ahead. Carry on.
Okay.
So it has been some time since I've seen him. It's in those days he was a faithful apprentice, but in these days he seems to be armed with a sword rather than. So what had you been doing under them, Elliot?
So originally I would have basically just been hired as essentially just like a hireling or follower under the apprentice. But when you would have met me, it would have been a little bit older, so I was acting as like a second to him, basically. He was actually teaching me the trade at that point.
So he was like an apprentice cleaning sacks, that sort of thing. Scraping Segma.
We would probably I seemed to be pretty close to my master, and so he probably would have brought me along instead of some of the other people in the group caravan to like meetings and stuff with the Raja. So then that's where why I would have been there to meet you.
Okay, so yeah, he yep. I would essentially convey that my experience with you in the past had been in a more mercantile context, whereas now you seem to have taken on a mercenary tone. So it's a difference from what I remember, but still the same person, maybe.
So you guys have been up here now for a little while, catching your breaths, the crackle of the torch, and it's probably time to use that other flask of oil, by the way. And I'm going to do better. I'm going to get my time tracker.
Dun dun.
If I can ever find it. From Gothridge Manor. I always put it somewhere and then I forget it. I find it and then I put it somewhere. So if you guys don't know, you should go to the Patreon of Gothridge Manor, and he sends some pretty sweet stuff. Let's take this moment. This is my most recent NPC card. Laminated. Nice. Little adventure.
That's some pro tier stuff right there.
Pretty good. Pretty high level stuff. This is his actual zine quest adventure, Hunters in Death. So you can check that out at patreon.com, Gothridge. He sends stuff like multiple things every month. Unfortunately, here's another one.
I liked Galdal's initial idea, talking about potentially having one or two of us who talk smoothly go up with the vellum, potentially being able to say we found this, but our allies were attacked, and I don't necessarily think we have to hide it per se. I think we could. I thought it was 100 gold each. So we had there was 400 in the thing.
Right, but a quarter of a 400 is 100.
Is
right?
100. Okay, so we would pay them. So the concern potentially being that. How good are the nomadic bandit types? Because I'm not sure if I don't remember if they were legit bandits.
Those guys are kind of like undead or something. I mean, there's something funky about them. They're not.
One of them was definitely. Yeah, one of them was definitely undead. But
I think you should try to learn all you can from the vellum sheets before you cough them up.
Yeah, let's check them before
Mhm.
hand them over.
So as a recap, the sheets were in this satchel that was found in one of the chambers in this area where you are now. The Intep and his boys said that they were looking for a chest, and inside the chest were holy writings that they wanted. This satchel that you found also had the mark of one of the Raja, Imhotep, maybe, I'm not sure which one, that matched the same as the signet ring that Galdal had found upstairs months ago in the gullet, I think, of this, of like the horse chimera thing. Is that right? Is that where you found it, Stu?
Yep.
Yep, it was
So,
the signet
just to
ring
put-
of Raja Mahamut.
Yeah, Mahamut. So this satchel is marked with Mahamut, and inside the satchel are these wrapped parchments. When Hadia opens them up, almost immediately, quickly realizes if these were any holy scriptures, it would be some very strange one because they're love letters.
Do we know to whom they are addressed?
Let me see what we know about these love letters. So they're vellum sheets wrapped in lamb's wool. I gotta find a different place that has all that information. Nope, I don't know where that information is. I think that it would take. How much time do you want to spend looking through the letters to figure out who they are? You know, who they are and what they're to, or anything like that. In other words, more time than you probably want to spend down here.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't spend a lot of time on them. Just kind of skim it to identify that it's not necessarily what we thought it was. Just yeah. So we found a chest, but we did not find any holy writings.
It almost seems like they were asserting that maybe the scroll case was holy writings, trying to avoid the fact that it's some sort of treasure map.
Aha! There's now we're
Maybe
thinking
they-
like an
I
adventure.
wonder. We should find maybe one of the mundane sheets of like the love letters, like like the overflow page or something. That's roll that up, shove it into the scroll case, heat up the wax on a torch, and then reseal just like one of the mundane love letters inside the scroll case, sealing it up, and then someone or someone's like stumble out of here like they barely survived, warning them, like hand it off and just warn them to like run and go or something.
Well, I could do that. Looks like I've barely survived. I'm down to 1 hit point.
There's probably some risk, but
That's a risk I'm willing for you to take.
I'm not saying it has to be the play.
No, I like that plan. That gives us more to play with, and if they buy it, then they leave us be. More importantly, because my thing is, I'm not sure how trustworthy they are, and if they see how beat up we are, they had the advantage when we were at full strength. What's to stop them from just finishing us off as we come up? And like I said, I don't remember.
Maybe we can pretend they were pretty scared of the guy that was inside the first guy we fought that was that had the creature.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we just pretend we are undead? We were taken by this creature. Then we are following and we are pursuing a Hethin. So he comes out with a scroll case. Oh, run, take it and run. They're after me. We just follow him. Like the undeads.
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah,
that will
yeah,
scare
maybe
them
guys
away.
could drape. You could
We
drape
have-
some of that white gauzy stuff over you, so you look like you're those creatures.
Yeah,
I think we
We
have
can put this gauzy stuff on us.
we
and
we
we
totally
just,
have yeah, we totally have a couple dead we have a couple dead face huggers in my sack, so we could just like kind of strap one of those on, pretend. But they don't go on your face; they're on the back. So I guess they're ass huggers. So we'll just kind of strap on some of the ass huggers and then chase them out.
I like maybe like one or two people dressing up that way, and then they could also be the intermediary to give a signal for everyone else to run out if like it goes horribly wrong.
I mean, we can go with I can go with Galdal. Galdal with his face, his jaw all wrong, and I'm kind of limping and had some serious wounds also, having come back
All right,
from the dead.
I will go with you to do this. Hold on, let's let Aaron rejoin.
The bandits have also never met me. They do not know I'm here.
That's true.
I could always go out and say that you all perished whenever trying to save me from the creature.
Or maybe it would be more effective for you to be part of the ruse with Akamuk to like act like you are part of the, converted undead creatures with the gauze and the back huggers.
My fear is if they are worried about these creatures, they might attack on sight of them coming out of the...
I think that's why it needs to be staggered. So Hethan goes out, we try, like, phase 1, run, they're coming.
This is
no
the
one
only
else
thing I
survived.
could get from the chest, the scroll.
And then maybe 2 people start making noise coming out of the stairs. We hope they move. If they don't, I don't know. Play it by ear. And those 2 intermediary people can give the signal and get everybody else out.
Well, yeah, the 2 stronger, Sod and Galdel, right? Because you're the stronger of the 2. Akamuk's banged up, and Hadia's a D4 magic user, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hadia is at 100%, but she's also not very effective in melee.
All right. So Galdel and Sod hook up some gauze. If we have cloaks, put them over our heads.
So what do these 2 strangers say to each other for the 15 minutes to a half an hour that Tadia, Hethan, and Akamuk were ooh and ahhing over the scroll case and the vellum sheets while they're down here peering into the darkness, fearing what could come?
Fearing? Maybe we're excited. Maybe it'll come.
So
I'm pretty sure I heard you shit your own britches when I said what was there.
Probably just post up, kind of like peering down the hole, and I kind of look over and say, "You look like you've all been through a lot."
Aye.
Oh, that was exciting. Is that the extent of it?
You probably noticed Galda's like jaw doesn't open very well. Like it's pretty messed up. There's like a big scar that goes across his face.
Did you lose anyone else down here, or was this all of you when you embarked?
This is all of us.
I lost 4 men below to that creature. As I said, this seems to be a dark place.
I was also tempted to try to lure the creature back up top, which I think would be cool, but I don't know how to do it.
We just leave a trail of Yakim heads up to the bandits.
Did the creature attack me on the surface, or was
Yeah,
already
it was
down
the
here?
surface. It was the surface.
I think it probably makes sense that we'd be talking about strategy if the thing does pop up, but also talking about strategy, just as we kind of were, right, in the chat.
Yeah, so Galdel never
we get
asks
outta
him
here?
who he is or like how he knows Hadia or.
Well, we
anything
kind of
like that.
overheard the other conversation, right?
Well, I think they were
before he moved
whispering
down?
to each other, maybe.
I know I wouldn't necessarily
Yeah,
bring it
but
up right now because
whispers carry in the cavern, right? So
Well, God, I hope not. I
She's like-
mean, they can hear
Right
everything
now.
you're saying. And it's okay if it is. I don't care. I just didn't know if this was an opportunity maybe for a little character development. So,
Yeah, well, I actually, interesting enough, for Galdel, I kind of thought like the head nod as we were like backing up against the creature, like that was bonding for Galdel. You know, that was the extent of it. And we're good. Oh, you backed up in a tunnel with me against a nasty creature? I mean, like
I think nasty's kind of harsh.
best friend ever had.
Yeah, it was very polite.
Vossworm, it seems like he should be a reoccurring character. I don't know, chat. Let's see a poll out there. Yes, we want to see Vossworm sneak into these guys' in rooms at night and engage, if you know what I'm saying. All right. So, so I think we have a plan. Aaron's like, nobody wants that. All right, I think we have a plan. So let's get a drink and let's see what happens. So let's take a quick break, everyone. I'll keep the music going. And if anyone's going to hang around, we'll give you this. Oh, not that screen. Not that screen. This one? No, not this one. This one. Yes, this one. After these messages, we'll be right back.
All right.
Sweetheart.
Oh.
All right. I'm the first one back. Let's talk about everybody, guys. Anyone got anything they want to say out there? So I got some cool stuff. Let's talk about, I think on Thursday we are going to play some old school essentials with the Thursday Justice group. And that game is called The North March. So if you like Vikings versus Romans, that's kind of what that game's all about. And then on Sunday, we have the Green River Gamers Association playing low fantasy gaming. They're still alive, which is very surprising. And that is in the Midlands, which is a Pickpocket Press. Oh, and that's what I wanted to say. If anyone is interested in playing a Shadowrun retro clone by Pickpocket Press, let me know. I just got the document, and I want to run some games that are just kind of like learning the rules and stuff. We'll stream them, and then in the new year, I want to run a Mendoza City Blues, which is going to just be like an open table game where the group will get together, they'll choose who they're going to play with, and then we'll go through their Mr. Johnson, we'll talk to them, get a job, and then they'll go do a job. It may take 1 session, it may take 5 sessions, but that group will stay together to do that job, and then that group can split up and join with other people in a next group. So kind of like, it's not West Marches, but it's definitely open table kind of concept. So I want to see if anyone wants to play that. That would be fun, and I think that'll be a cool thing to work towards. So if you don't know where to reach me, you can email me at hnfhobbs@gmail.com if you want to get involved in that. I'm sure that's somewhere on my Twitch channel. I don't know. Or meet me at my Discord, the Gamerhood, which is also in below in About. If you're watching this on YouTube, that's also in the About below. And while you're here, you might as well hit the follow button and then get your wallet out, hit subscribe on Twitch. Anyway. Oh, we're still missing Elliot and Aaron.
I'm here. I'm just having my supper, so
Oh, no problem. So while we're waiting for Elliot, depending on what happens here with these banditos, you guys might be want to be considering what you're gonna do next. So this was kind of like the initial railroad adventure, but you have some, I think, pieces of things that you might want to consider what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know.
So I know Galdal found the ring. I asked him if he would give it to Akemug. Akemug is willing to pay him if needed. That's no problem. But
we've bled together. I'm good.
Akemug would like to keep the satchel and the letters and the ring, all the stuff belonging to this Rajam Mehemut.
Do we even feel the need to put a piece of paper back in the scroll case, or do we want to leave it empty? Like, do we want to reuse one of the sheets of like a mundane love letter, or do we want to keep all that together in case it might be important?
Unless there's a blank sheet, I'd rather keep them all together.
I think the vellum would be kind of expensive, so
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you could do it on the back of one, maybe, or something.
I mean, give it the rush. We are planning to hand the things over to them.
Like if they're gonna open it up and inspect it, yeah, if they reopen the wax and inspect it, we're done for anyway. So
that's why we
seal it empty and you keep all the stuff.
We could tear the map in half and keep one half for ourselves, like the place we want to go. I think the stone trees sound pretty cool, but tear the map in half, give them the fragment with the fire trees, and then we don't have to run into them again. Maybe. I mean, who wants to go to Firetown? Nobody.
I don't know. Might be interesting.
You're muted.
Take me down to Firetown. Oh, sorry. No.
No one else has any spare paper, do they? Anybody have one of those spell books with like a page in the back? Because maybe they haven't even seen the map. They don't know what it looks like. We could take chalk and like draw like a different map leading out in the middle of nowhere and put that in
wouldn't take very long.
Can't tell if that was sarcasm.
I don't have.
I'm surprised you have to ask.
Hadia, you got a blank page back there somewhere?
You're on mute, Taylor.
That explains that. I had asked, would I have my spell book with me, or would I have left it in a secure location, knowing that they are precious?
I think you're going to carry your spell book with you because you have to look at it every
Okay.
day.
Okay, makes sense to me. Would I have a spare? Would I have a spare page in the back, so to speak, to try to enact that plan, just to put something in it, though?
Because I agree, like there's one play where like this doesn't matter. Like if they don't open it, doesn't matter.
Right.
If they
So
open
I'm thinking,
it, you might not know what it looks like either. So if we like put some sort of ink on paper or something.
right. That's what I was thinking, because we have we have a basic lay of the land. Part of me is thinking, hey, we could just etch to ourselves where we're going to go. But there again, we don't necessarily want to run into these guys when we are trying to explore. So it would be better to make a... How detailed is the map that we found?
I mean, it's an old school map. I don't really.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be lost because everything looks the same out in the desert, right? Except for the landmarks, and those aren't necessarily going to be that easy to see with this because it's kind of that duney sort of desert where it's very easy for you to get stuck in places and lost.
Okay.
Does that answer the question?
A bit, yeah. So I'm thinking what we could potentially do is we could take a page and then make as a decent copy, not perfect enough.
I mean, you guys, it's not like you have like the tools to make any kind of map down here. Not really.
Mm.
I mean, I guess you could. You must have. Do you like have a pen and ink and all that? And you're going by lantern light underground in a place that you could get interrupted at any moment by a possible skull crunching manapede. I don't know. It just seems like there's some pressure there to be.
All right, vote to just
maps.
Seal it empty, and let's go.
Yeah,
seal it empty. Hethan's gonna go up top. Encourage them to get the heck out as he limps away.
And we have a contingency plan of having neck huggers or fake zombies walk up. So sounds good to me.
You will help Sod and Galdel like put the webby stuff on them, and if we want to strap a dead face hugger thing to their backs, we could do that.
Yep. Do the so I assume they have like proboscis and bitey bits. So it might be prudent to, even though we know they're dead, just to remove the bitey bits just for good measure.
I like it.
Okay.
And the idea will be we'll give Hethan a head start, and we will kind of slowly start moving out.
Yeah, I'll go sprinting out of the cave. As
We'll devise
best I
some sort of
can,
verbal
in my wounded
signal.
condition. Stumbling, falling, carrying the scroll case. Run! Run! The worm, it's coming! And those damn shambling dead! Run!
All right, this is kind of what it looks like out here. You guys are here. As Hethan, comes up the stairs are here. You come running out this way, and you see two of these guys look like they're kind of just lounging about this rock in the shade of this rock, trying to keep their distance, but also supposedly on watch. As soon as you jump out and they hear your voice, and they jump to their feet. They kind of have slings and sling stones and short swords at their sides, and they're like, you there!
Run, the worm! Run! I'm holding the scroll case, running.
Like a marathon baton or something,
like
you're trying to hand it off.
It's like a relay.
Where's the Chariots of Fire music? All right, let's see what these guys do. Why don't you make a reaction roll to see how well you perform this? Sometimes I feel like with reaction rolls, I don't necessarily do enough with charisma checks. And so I feel like maybe in some ways the charisma stat doesn't get used. So it's pretty interesting. It's not something that I have solved. Maybe we'll talk about it at the end of the session. Anyway, I would say reaction roll.
Well, he has real wounds,
Oh,
so
hell yes.
he doesn't have to pretend. Nice.
Yeah, so these guys seem quite frightened, and they just run off.
I kind of chased them for a while.
With the scroll case?
With this,
No, they don't have the
I
scroll
still got
case.
the scroll. I think
Yeah,
they're running ahead of me, right?
They run off before they can even get a chance to get the scroll case. And they're like running off. They're like, in tap. They
Beautiful.
go belting around this corner. So what do you guys do?
We can
Sit tight for a minute.
never mind that. We can leave
Through the back door.
through the back door.
Yeah, I would say if as soon as seeing them start to run, that we should probably just break another direction.
So town is this way. Out this way is the vast Opjamar.
Yeah, we can go out and
Yeah, kind
Maybe
of
take
circle around.
take a detour.
All right, so it sounds like Saad and Akamuk belt out the back door. Hadia? Galdal?
Hadia will follow. I'm a team player.
Galdal?
Just you could
You're gonna walk up here to look out the window?
come
So
and tell him.
I'm kind of wounded too. Like the other alternative is I try to stick around long enough and like make sure Hethan gets away, and I can like make my escape late. And I'm pretty beat up too. And that way Hethan's not left completely alone.
I'm thinking
I
I'm
mean,
just
we're
gonna.
taking
I think I'm just gonna throw the scroll case after those guys,
Okay.
and then
Let's
just
go.
run back towards.
yeah, we're
Hava?
gonna
I like
gonna
that.
meet.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to do my Arnisonian situation here. 7. All right, yeah, so it doesn't take long. You guys skirt around these buildings. You have to kind of crawl back up the dunes because this whole area had become unveiled, right? And within a few hours, you find yourselves trudging along, and Hava appears. So far, it kind of seems like, I don't know how that is exactly, but Galdal sort of seems like the mercenary heart of this group momentarily. I don't know how long that'll be, because there are certainly a call for Hethan or even Hadia possibly being the leader. But right now, we're just going to use Galdal's token as you guys approach Hava. I think it's probably edging towards evening because you guys went over there, you spent some time underneath, and you came up. Some of you guys are without rations, so Hethan is like trying to bum rations off the others, carrying this heavy gold, this extra 10 pounds of chest, Akamuk, as you guys approach the town of Hava. So, now what?
All right, I'd like to take a little bit of time once we secure ourselves in a more shielded locale to try to take a look at these vellum love letters, see if we can spend a little bit more time looking at them, figure out who they're from, who they're for.
You would like to check this pyramid container, see how there's a bit of magic in it.
Yeah, and Hethan's plan is to rest for a day and
And rest.
cover my spells and start curing the my companions and myself.
I need to report that about the creature.
Yeah, are you guys headed back to the row then, or what? Because I think that's kind of where you guys have been staying, in just like some communal tents in the row. Pretty much, it's not like you guys have houses in Hava or anything like that that I'm aware of. Is that true?
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Before resting, I'd invite our new friend to sample Daig's finest wines at the Pilgrim's Chalice. The tent.
Is that where you guys are going to go over all your stuff? Is that the wine tent?
That's probably not a good idea. I was suggesting I was going to go there. Like the nerds can look at the paperwork somewhere else.
If Galdal offers to get a drink with me, I will say to him that I will join him shortly, but I'm still like okay as far as besides.
Well, you're actually probably dehydrated and you haven't hardly eaten anything in quite a while because you've been captured down there for, maybe like a day or 24, 36, 48 hours maybe. So you've probably gotten water from them guys, so that's helped, but like you haven't had a shower. You had this spit crap holding you down, and I don't know if going to meet some possible patron is something you'd want to do at this moment. You can if you want to. I'm not saying you can't, but I just wanted to paint the picture.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Because if I was captured with all of my stuff, but you said it was like 48 hours. Okay. Yes. So yeah, in that case,
but you've actually been encased in this,
right.
Like this almost like kind of chitinous or amber, like consider like soft amber, and then it like hardened around you, and you could, in fact, you probably know that the creature can spit this shit out, that it can harden you. Like one of your buddies had it on his head, and he couldn't get it off, and he suffocated from it, and that's how you got captured at first. Is it captured you and then pulled you down here after like munching and taking its million legs and stabbing it into your companions. Just chance that it was you, or maybe you were the fattest and he wanted to save you for later. I don't know.
Yeah, so I will take Galdal up on the drink. It'll be a nice respite to catch my breath and then, prepare myself before going to talk to Al-Jahudi.
Al-Jahudi? All right.
So time to catch up with the other guys, like either tonight or tomorrow morning.
So it's like it's not an inn, right? It's not a place to sleep. This is just kind of where you drink. Thank you, Lyric the Beautiful, for mentioning the maps. I appreciate it. What the hell is Taylor doing? Is it cold there? Aren't you in Florida, man?
Yeah, it's like 40 degrees outside today.
Oh no, 40 degrees.
Yeah, we got some. I'm sorry, what?
I said you're in Florida too. I am also in Florida.
Nice. We'll have to catch up a bit and figure out locale.
All right,
Yeah,
so
sure. Yeah, it was very cold today.
So it's 9:15. I think. How late do we go in this game? 10? 10:30? I don't remember.
Something like that.
So usually 10:30 to 11 or whatever, but
for your time, not my time. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So that would be 9:30 or 10. So sometimes it goes longer. I mean, I don't know what you guys are going to do, but I think some of the things that are going to happen is within the next day or two, you're going over the stuff you found. I think between Akamuk and Hadia, you guys figure out. I can't find my notes on this particular subject, of course. They're hidden somewhere in my obscure and mysterious methodology of storing information in my Google Drive.
I think you said it was on an index card in 10-point or in like 2-point font.
It might be, because I don't know where the hell I put it. I know it's on here somewhere. I found all sorts of information, and then I thought I had it, but I don't know if I renamed it something else. Because I'm looking, so this used to be an Axe campaign that I was running when Brasco and some other guys played in it. And I don't know. Yeah, these haven't been saved in 2020, so.
Me, Brasco, and
Adam played in it later. That campaign kept going long enough that like Adam joined up, and Gabriel actually played Matt's, because Ray Case played in it and Gabriel played in it, so it was for a little while. But so like I have all this information stashed all over the place, and I thought I had made a document that kept everything together, but I don't know where the flip I put it. And how would it even get saved? I don't know.
Should you try searching for some of the keywords from that document?
I thought that I had, but doesn't seem to be doing a great job of. Ooh, this might be it. This would be a good best served cold. This was what the campaign used to be called. The second iteration of it. Nope, doesn't look like this is it. But here's the name, Mehemet.
Recurring villain, or
nice. Wait, what's this? Hava Knights Info GM. They're well named, but why this would be different than the other one, other best served cold one? I don't know. Oh, because maybe I shared that best served cold with you guys. I don't know. Oh, here we go. This is it. This is what I was looking for.
Nice.
All right, let me read this quick. It looks like you believe by the pet names that these are actually were stories told in shit, I can't think of the name of it now. Junera. In Junera, that if it could even be possibly believed that one is from House Mehemet and the other is a oh my god, I had this stuff all settled one time in my head, and now I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is confusing enough for me. But basically what it is incriminating evidence that an enemy of House Mehemet, a child in that house. Oh, it's basically information that, depending on when it happened, could incriminate one of the heirs of Raja Mehemet. And in the right hands, this could be very devastating to Raja Mehemet's rule in Junera. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Further, over drinks, I'm assuming Galdal and Saad talk, and Saad said, I don't know if you remember a person known as Helshane. Does that sound familiar? Did anyone have Helshane in their notes?
No.
Yes, the Carizian assassin.
Yeah, it would have been Kamaran, I think.
Oh.
It's same thing as Christian, but Christian is the old name and Kamaran is... One of the names is the new name and one is the old name. I don't even know. We'll have to look it up. But Saad actually met a woman known Helshane in the bathhouse in the at a dinner with Imset El Dejuti.
So Saad had met a woman named Helshane.
Yep.
And the owner of the bathhouse had something to do with the dinner?
Yeah, he's the owner.
And he's like the richest guy in the entirety of Hava, right?
Yeah, he's the godfather of Hava.
Yeah, he's like a lot of the people who come through while Saad was there, if anyone of any note seems to always pay respects to Imset El Jehuti. And Helshane was searching for someone, a Rajani, known as this guy.
Passamatic.
What was Saad doing, rubbing elbows at a dinner like this?
What was Saad?
Yeah, what was Saad doing at like this dinner?
Dejuti.
I would ask.
Looking for Imset.
Well, trying to get a job and you got one. You were brought here by Imset, yeah. Jehuti.
Got it.
He was the one who sent me with the other people of why I ended up getting captured by the creature. And I would probably share this over like drinks or whatever. That basically I took the job because Imset wanted the creature captured for whatever reason to bring back to him, but he didn't know much about it, and he sent me with some other people, or I got the job, and then he sent some other people with me. They all died because we didn't know that the creature was like as intelligent as it was, and we were in way over our heads with just the 5 of us.
Mad God.
Got it. Yeah, Galdol and his terse communication style would probably try to sell you on being a free agent is a lot safer than working for someone else.
Indeed, but at least I do have a connection with Imset, and that is always a good opportunity for money that is involved there. Although a lot of you seem much hardier than the ones that of his men that he sent. There was also the zoological house that is located here too, right?
That's the house that you were in. That was the rumor of what that house was in the
that was it. Okay.
Yeah, in the Unveiled Quadrant.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So I know that location was apparently an ancient zoological house.
Yeah, that was the rumor that was going around town.
Yeah, so that was the reason I even came here to begin with, and then got the job from Imset.
Yeah, that's the that was coming from there is a cartographer that lives in Ilan ibn Gulshan that lives in Hava. Oops, I just put that in the wrong chat. Oops. But I think if you didn't seem to realize it, Saad, Hethan, I'm assuming the whole group is here at some point or another. So Akamuk would certainly say that failing at a task for Jehuti is probably not a good idea.
Yeah. Maybe Saad will want to lay low
Oh, kind of like failing a crime boss, kind of.
Because he is. It looks like he might be some sort of crime boss. Yeah.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't have necessarily noticed that before. I've dealt with Raja House politics, but some of the finer points of things, I'm still learning that part of stuff that my master wouldn't necessarily taught me.
Yeah. So does anybody have any questions? We just dropped a whole bunch of different thoughts and ideas here.
He necessarily didn't fail. He just acquired more information about the creature he has to catch.
He did let the men die that were sent with him.
Well, he sent inferior.
Sounds like they were weak.
Help.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll go over really well telling him that.
Does Akamuk have an idea of like how to use the incriminating information about the Mahomet Raj's family, or is that something you're interested in doing? I forget what your relation with the house was.
Well, yeah, he probably would like to use it in his own benefit to raise in the hierarchy of the gang.
The information.
Sorry.
The information might be worth a lot of money if someone powerful could be made less powerful by its exposition. So it would be a tricky thing to profit from it, but there's something to be said for its value in that regard.
And he may not totally understand it. Once I get a re-handle on what I had written here, then I will do more. I'll be able to better explain. The things that you have to know is, first of all, everyone knows now that this name that I can't find. Helshane. Helshane was searching for a man known as Pasamatik. And I don't think not everyone necessarily knows. That doesn't mean anything to the majority of you. These love letters are between two people. One being Jamila and the other one Rabu. Rabu is in Raja Muhammad.
Do we have both sides of the letters, both the to and the from?
No, you
Jamila?
Probably only have.
Or are they just to Jamila, for example?
Yes, exactly. It looks like there were supposed to be code names, but apparently you guys figured this out over some drinks, because I fucked that up already. And I believe Raja Muhammad is there's someone powerful in Junera.
This guy Basamatik, he's done a job, and there were people searching for him. I mean, there was a big show that went down. I have that in my notes.
Yeah, so basically, I can tell you what Akamuk says if you want. So Akamuk lets you guys know that in Junera, this guy, Passamatic, was a burglar, and he did a heist, but it seems like he must have gotten more than he bargained for in the heist, because everyone seemed like they were after him to get what he had. And it seems like...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it seems like these letters are the likely reason.
Well, and if the letters were in the zoological house, then it stands to reason that the zoological house at one point was owned by one of these two.
No. That's ancient stuff. That zoological thing is ancient people. So the reason that it was important is because whoever lived there once probably had some weird animals and stuff. And so that's why you were searching around that area. But that would have been historically, because at one point that whole region was covered in sand. But the sand, it's called that district became unveiled, so the sand shifted enough that it was found, and then there were stories about what those buildings might have been, and that's where you think it might have been like a zoologist lived there who collected animals years and years ago, whatever this city was before. So I don't want you to get confused, but the satchel and stuff is more recent.
Right, but someone had to put the satchel in there. Right. How else would it?
Someone took refugee there.
Yeah.
Or they might have been in a caravan that got attacked by the Yakim, which Galdal is aware of.
Okay. And before we got too far away from it, I was going to ask, because it is important, how much did Immaset? How much was I supposed to be paid to get this creature? Because that potentially is another avenue of, there are now people who are obviously stronger to finish that job if it is a worthwhile. It's obviously worthwhile to me, but it seems like it would probably be expensive.
And aside from killing the creature, I'm You okay, Aaron? You send help?
You all right, Aaron?
It was to capture and take the creature alive back to Immaset.
Let's say that it is. How much is a lot of gold in this game?
Wait, your task was to capture it alive?
Yes, he wanted it. He wanted the creature.
With no nets.
Maybe the other guys. Yeah, he has a net, and the other guys all had nets and stuff.
It's just that we were not expecting the creature to be as smart as it was. We were expecting more of a beast.
So
we need to capturing creatures like in my inventory. It's just,
and it's possible that maybe they thought it was going to be like the Chimera creature that Galdal was involved with, and the rumors came about that, but that's what you guys ran into, and so they think that that's the creature. I mean, what do these guys know, really? It's just some rich guy wanting this weird beast for who knows what. Or maybe he knows something about it. Who knows? Nobody really knows why he wants the creature.
Yeah.
But we'll say it's 500 gold pieces, the corpse, and double that if it's alive.
Yeah.
I thought the angle there that was interesting was trying to figure out more about its master that created him and might be associated with all the other weird stuff going down.
Right. The only problem with that is, obviously, I would be worried about, especially after talking to Hethan, that I need to finish the job that I agreed to some capacity. Otherwise, Immaset is potentially going to be after me.
Cool.
The worm did say it was created by Voss, or at least its creator spoke one thing, Voss. So either it is a creation of chaos, or there's a chaotic element that's channeling channeling the deity.
Yeah. I'm just not sure how to get more information there yet.
Right.
There also was no timeline on that job, correct, Hobbs? As far as, I mean, we didn't really talk about it specifically, but it was just the creature for him.
I'm sure he's going to want it as soon as possible, but that's something that maybe you could talk. Like if someone shows up to break your arm or whatever, it might be something.
Right. Yeah, I'm assuming if he sees me just doing a whole bunch of other jobs or whatever around town, he's just gonna be like, you were supposed to be doing this thing, but it wasn't like it was like I need this in whatever days. Yeah,
I almost feel like he probably fronted you some money to supply, because he wouldn't necessarily know how to supply this expedition that you had, so he might have fronted you, say, 50 gold pieces or something. That seems like a decently large amount of money. 1/10 of the total, and then he rounded up some guys, like maybe one of them was someone who Galdal knows from the Sharp Blades, and some of them could have just been some other like rowdies from the caravans that hang around in the row, and maybe even a couple of them were actually from Dejuti's own band.
So to maybe categorize some of the things that are pending, it's capture worm creature, or try to find out more about its creation and the master and how that relates to all the other weirdness down in the hole. It's the love letters and the blackmail type situation with the Raja and Genera.
Hey, Aaron Clark, I'll get you into the thing here. Keep talking.
Or follow a location to the treasure map. So,
Aaron, join the Gamerhood Gossip if you can't get into Gamerhood Game Room, and I'll move you over. I'm not sure why it won't let you in, but... Sorry about that. Is there anything I can help with to... Is that what you're asking for? Is like... Maybe you guys should just have to do it. Maybe I gave you too much.
That's what I'm trying to do, is propose
categorizing it.
What are our things to consider? It's capture worm and or investigate its master, what else is happening down in the hole. It is doing something with the blackmail material and the love letters regarding the Genera Raja. It's pursue treasure map. Anything else? Get Yakeem heads.
I heard of. If you're going after the worm, we're gonna need Yakeem heads.
I mean, I can't argue with that. I'm kind of ambivalent, so I'm happy to take a back seat, since it was my idea to go back to the hole that I got injured at. Interested to hear what other folks want to do.
Well, I would say out of those things, if you're presenting it to the group, obviously, and I realize too, I'm a bit of an outsider, but I would probably present it as at least there is a hard guarantee of payment on getting the creature alive or dead.
All right. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think this is important. So here is one of the names. You've realized that the person who sent the love letters was a woman sent to a man. This is who sent them. All right, so in the 20 questions, the richest person in all of the league is likely the leader of Junera, and his name is Aiken Rajan Manufru. Jamila is his sister. So basically, she's sending love letters and talking about sexual relations with some thug from a lesser Raja. And she is betrothed to someone else.
Scandalous.
Well, part of the thing that you have to know, and maybe you wouldn't, is that the Rajan, who is the leader of a city-state. So you have the Raja, who is the house, and then the Rajan is the leader of that. Well, he's basically the Rajan of Junera, which is the most powerful city-state in the land. But their strength, some people call them figureheads because of the powerful priests of Junera. So not all the city-states have a powerful group of priests or anything like that, or clergy, and these are like priests from all different religions, but that's kind of like the religious area of the whole of all the Rajani. A lot of them would come there to worship under the powerful priests and stuff that are there, and those closest to their gods. And one of them, maybe the most well-known one, is this guy, Papa Asmuna Tukuruti. And if he knew that Jamila was ignoring Akins and the betrothal, he could certainly use that to seize power in Junera, which would really shake things up there, if that helps anything.
Okay. Well, yeah. So basically, I would probably be offering a lot of you, obviously, once rested. Basically, I have this job, but I'm willing to split payment evenly if you are willing to basically be hiring, quote unquote hiring, or you coming alongside me to do this job. But I can't do it by myself, and I don't think it would be good for me to go back to Imiset to ask for more people. So if you have any other things that you want to pursue first, I'm not necessarily opposed to that. But obviously,
particularly if they're outside of town.
Yeah. But obviously, it would be, in my personal best interest to make sure the job gets done at some point.
I mean, we don't know how. I mean, if this guy is so powerful, he probably knows that you are here without your original group. You joined with some other guys. He probably put 1 + 1. You failed and lost your men, and now you gather some more and probably want to go back.
That is what I would assume as well. Yes.
So, I mean, if he's fallen you, it's going to fall on us. So we don't want that guy on our heels, right? As much as fearsome that creature looks like, being kind of sentient, it probably can be duped, convinced, bribed. So I'm probably in favor of Sad trying to get rid of that problem by finishing helping him, and then move to another thing. That's what Akimo says to the group.
Okay. Sounds like we're going back for the worm then.
And there are things that, like, there are other people in town. Like there is some kind of sorcerer or sorceress or something, and there's some different stuff going on that you could maybe look into that if you wanted. That's up to you guys. So I don't want you to feel like you're stuck. Because look at the 20 questions, because there's a lot of things you can get out of the campaign by going over that document. And each of you guys have your own things that you're working on too.
Yeah, I mean, we know, but we are dealing with the most powerful guy in town. So if we wander around looking for, look at that, and hey guys, what are you doing? Get on with your.
lack of things to do. It's the figuring out the more.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, it's not someone you can ignore. I mean, by hey, we put your thing on hold and we're gonna search this map we found. He doesn't care about the map.
I think it's fair, but all the other things that we have to do are leaving town. So, if someone wanted to, we could go do something else outside of Hava and come back by way of bringing Worm back into town. I'm not pushing for that. I'm just saying it's a possibility if someone felt passionate about one of these other things.
But the thing is that everyone we may found in the way, we wouldn't know if they are sent by this guy. No, so
Sure.
There's gonna be always the doubt of if he's sending someone after us for revenge or for whatever.
All right.
Collect or make sure that we do the job.
And you do know that there is a pretty renowned hired killer that was recently at that area.
Yeah, we know that too. Because there's this who was the guy from the Square Tower. That's the guy that disappeared, right? There was someone murdered in the Cracked Mouth, right?
Yeah, a Nordborn was murdered there.
Right.
Awild. Or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I had been on mute. I had gotten the name.
All right, so this is pretty darn awesome. Let's use the rest of the time to tell me what I should prepare. It sounds like you guys are going after Vossworm. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me.
So right back into the heart of the bandits.
Surely they went away. Surely.
Yeah, that was going to be the only other thing I was going to mention was possibly doing something else would potentially mean the bandits might move on rather than continuing to stake out the same area. But I do agree if time is pressing as far as keeping Al-Jahudi waiting.
And we don't have to decide at this moment, but the sooner the better, obviously. But I mean, if it's that, then I pretty much have that already done. Or do I? So,
presumably, before we set out anyway, we would do more. There potentially is room to try. Now we know more information about the creature. There is a little bit of room to maybe find out some more stuff because we have names to put to things and get, equipment for that task too. It's not just necessarily setting straight back out immediately.
all right, so let's assume at this point that's what the plan is. Is Stu? Is that how you feel?
I'm okay with that. I'll say that I do think it's prudent to make sure this isn't lingering for a member of our party, but also I'm kind of interested in who is his master that created him, who is behind all the weird happenings down there. I think that component is interesting, so I'm on board if that's what we want to do. I'm also cool getting out of town, so happy to defer to the group.
I think as far as that question goes, does anyone have any thoughts on who that is, like Aaron or Taylor?
Any thoughts on what is?
Who the creator was, or what is going on?
Well, I think the worm is Voss himself, but that's just my sense.
Taylor, anything to add there?
And if the worm's not Voss, then definitely Voss created him.
Yep. I believe it is. I believe it's a creation by Voss, like we're talking. I don't know if it knows, but I feel like we could benefit from learning from it, because no, I would. I'm curious to see if the maps or the bribery material, or not bribery, sorry, the velour blackmail letters were found.
I like velour. That's cracking me up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They were found in the place where the Voss worm lives. So I'm very curious if they're connected. So are we going to find the Voss worm's maker to be involved somehow with the pantheon, so to speak, we talked about earlier? Is there some subversive element in Genera? In So yeah, I think we could. I'm curious to see how or if these elements tie together.
Okay, so there has been like weeks and weeks of time. I mean, some of it months and months of time where some of this stuff came to light. So I feel like there's a lot of confusion. I don't know how much I'm supposed to tell you guys and how much you want to try and hack together. But some things that I think that are being confused is like you guys kind of got an impression in the building where you were down in there following the mosaics. Someone was obviously doing rituals down there, and it looked like it's like time or history sometimes repeats itself. So the mosaics and stuff are hundreds of years old. Like that building was very, very old that you were in, up and down. Okay, so that existed before, and that mosaic got affected and changed quite some time ago, and it was about finding animals, and then it changed from like depicting what the animals were to like mixing the animals together. And even in the mosaics, you were starting to see runic indications of this mad god, Voss. All right, so that was centuries ago. All right, more recently, like only maybe months ago, some Yakim were in there, and it looked like the Yakim used parts of animals stolen from caravans and somehow made a horse monster out of them. I don't know if you remember that or not, but Galdal knows that they were taking those horse parts. The Yakim were taking the horse parts from the caravans, and it's possible that those raids on the caravans when they were taking stuff from there, that maybe they killed this guy Passamatique there and got whatever he had. So he might have just been on the caravan moving. They attacked the caravan and took the stuff and left because they had those hounds and they were taking the parts back. And so down there you saw all these rituals and some like blood paintings and all this stuff that was likely done by the Yakim shaman, who also seemed to over time get worse and worse. So something down there had created a problem. You don't really know how old, if it was the zoologist that lived there, or this the Yakim shaman, or something even before that. But something created a problem, and Voss is obviously involved. But the idea that Voss himself was there, should be probably pretty scary, because I kind of equivalent maybe like these types of demon gods. You have the young gods, and then any of the gods before that, even the young gods themselves, they're the first lawful gods in the history of the emergent empires. Before that, they were always chaotic gods, and they were more people to be feared as opposed to be revered. Although some people did revere them, but those would be like your nihilistic end of society cults who were either tricked by these gods or somehow from their own madness created some ideas. So if you think of like Elder Scrolls and maybe not even Elder Scrolls, yeah, it's Elder Scrolls, who kind of have those origin. What's the other one that has like demon gods and stuff? It is Elder Scrolls, right? Where they would go into the other land, Oblivion, where those guys were considered gods, but really they're just demons, right? And so Voss probably fills that similar kind of role in this setting. where you would know, Elliot, Stu, and Gabriel, that there's a whole nother planet or demi-plane of even Aaron, you would know maybe from Kalmata, or you, Taylor, from Kalmata, that other land demi-plane that you guys went to and had like the demon people in it and stuff. So these demon guys are powerful lords somewhere else, and it's usually their goal to destroy human society or enslave them or something terrible. And Voss is probably one of those, this insane demon god kind of thing. I don't know if I confuse you guys more or less.
I would say I think all that's tracking. What wasn't clear to me was if the Yakim shaman was like an amateur, like kind of participating, and there was still something else going on, and if the worm's creator that he referred to as his master was a different situation. That is the piece that is unclear, I think, to us.
Yeah, it could be that the shaman just found something that then he was using but didn't completely understand, and then created the like abomination horse things based on magic he wasn't familiar with, of the combination magic that was being done before it.
And if there's anything that might fit into that is, I don't know if you guys remember, but on that black altar, the basalt altar, there was an impression that something was missing on that altar. You guys remember that?
Yep, there was a niche. I remember because it was, we'd asked if the pyramid fit into it, but it was starfish shaped.
Right, but also the pyramid has like pieces that can turn and be manipulated. I don't know if you remember that.
I did not.
Yeah, that it opened up somehow.
That it possibly could open up, yes.
It's it's hinged.
But you haven't figured out how to open it yet, right?
It's a bronze hinged Rubik's pyramid that's defaced with runes of Voss, and it's magical. So
this maybe fits that bill of just kind of what Elliot was talking about. Of they finding something, and even the history of the zoologist seems like he was doing something scientific and then went weird, and it's possible maybe he found this thing and built the the altar and all the other shit that got crazy after that. So, and that does not answer who created the Voss worm at all, but it maybe kind of helps you figure out what that could have come to create that, or what was going on there. And that was a kind of a long description of what's been happening in the however many sessions of the recent White Sands / Best Served Cold campaign and eclipsed or encompassed. All right. So with that information out there for you, the viewers, and you, the players, maybe I think we're still planning on trying to deal with Vossworm for Jehuti to help Saad, and even you guys, like Kamuk was explaining, it's possible that now you guys could also be under the watchful eye of Jehuti. As far as the love letters go, certainly something that you could explore, and the quote unquote the map or the divine writings supposedly of these bandits who knows what would happen once they actually reach the leader, and what happens from that. I think that does that sound like it covers everything for you guys as far as all the hooks that exist?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes.
There's some other rumors that I think tie into all of these hooks in different ways, but I think primarily that's the shit that has hit the fan thus far, or the stuff that I've thrown at the wall that you can decide that you want to be interested in. So let's head over to the round table, the Tuesday night's round table, and wrap up this episode. Elliot, highs and lows, sir, or anything you wanted to pimp, mention, applaud?
I mean, well, first of all, I'll just say it's fun being able to be back into this game. I had a lot of fun tonight, and it was cool. It's obviously, like, for me, it's just getting back into swing of things and try to catch up on a lot of stuff because y'all are obviously 4 sessions in. So actually that end part actually helped me a lot. I know it's a lot of like info dump, but it helped me to kind of be able to get a grasp on what the hell y'all have even been talking about and like going on. There's a lot of names thrown out there, so it does help to kind of recap it in that way. But yeah, so nothing to necessarily pimp or anything right now, but yeah, it was fun. I'm happy to be back.
Awesome, Stu.
That was good. It was good to have Elliot back. It was good to see the prep works that like went into how he was going to get integrated. I thought that was pretty cool how we stumbled on him down there, and it added to the intensity of getting away from the Voss worm. Otherwise, I am also glad that we have a couple other hooks of just things that are in motion that we could go poke at. So I'm happy to see that. So thanks.
Yeah, I just realized there were no combats this session.
Nope.
That's going in my highs when we get to me.
Haha, Aaron.
Right.
I really liked the plan that we came up with to dupe the bandits. I thought that was fun, and it was fun for me to be part of that, executing that plan. Just it fit really well in my mind's eye. So thanks for that tonight, Hobbs. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a cool scene for sure. I like it. And that reminds me, I would be curious to hear what you guys think about reaction roll in those situations or a charisma check. I don't know. That's something to talk about. Taylor? I'm
stoked. I'm very excited. We've got like 7 things that we're very curious about. I'm very eager to pursue them. So this session is leaving me very excited for follow-up sessions to kind of dive into all of this stuff. To elaborate also, I had fun with that worm because I walked into this session thinking, oh goodness, how are we? We're going to have to do something silly, and Hobbs is going to have to bail us out and then tease himself for being a softie. But no, we had. I think that worked out really well. It's one of the things that you don't get in a lot of games where you can use interactions, you can use coercions, you can use kind of those cool plans like Aaron was talking about to try to affect the outcome rather than making a board game out of it, which a lot of other games can get into. So I was very excited for our alternative solutions, and I'm very excited about getting some intel on some alternative solutions that we're going to come up with as we pursue down this absolute warren of plot. So yeah. All in all, I'm excited.
Awesome.
If that didn't come across,
it did. Gabriel.
Well, not much to add. Everyone just said most of the things. Have Elliot back. The plan to escape. The interaction with the boss worm. Everything were highs. The not having a combat. The proof that things can be resolved with other methods, and they could be fun also. So okay, looking forward, trying to for next session, trying to assimilate all the information that you drop on us.
And feel free to talk about this stuff in the Discord. I mean, that's really what it's for, to interact and talk about your thoughts and plans. I always say do it where I can see it, because then I might be able to use it for something, but Stu likes to hide it behind and talk to everyone in the back scenes.
Whoa.
I always get a little nervous as a game master when I run a session that has no combat in a game that historically is known for combat. But some people would say combat is a fail state in a game like OSE. I'm not totally sure I agree with that, but I do enjoy non-combat encounters with morally questionable possible foils or adversaries. And obviously you guys have tons of things and individuals, because I mean there's nothing that says you have to go, and you might make a friend of this worm and then he helps you take over the town. Who knows? This is an old school game that anything can really happen in. So the stuff that I say or set up ahead of time is just possibilities, and you guys are the ones who decide after that what really happens. So I'm pretty happy. So in 4 sessions, including a session 0, we've got tons of different directions you can go with, lots of individuals that you can encounter or interact with, and we still haven't hit all of them that were on Jeff Reens's Jeff's Game Blog questions that were put in there. We're just kind of tapping into that here and there for stuff that your characters would naturally know. And I'm really, really happy. I mean, this is obviously a great group, and I've gamed with you guys all for a long time in different games and stuff. So I'm really happy with how you guys have gotten together, because that seems to have worked pretty well. Because obviously Stu and Gabe and Elliot were already part of the Tuesday nights, and we lost some good players who have moved on to other rewarding things, and adding Aaron and Taylor has been fantastic. But yeah, I need to take a drink of water. Does anyone else have anything they want to say, or should we cue the music?
So you were talking about charisma and stuff and how to use that, or versus reaction check or reaction rolls and things. You want to talk more about that?
I pretty much said everything that I knew it. Well, I mean, to me, the reaction roll table has always been something that is fairly well spoken of in BX. I don't know about OSC because I haven't really heard anyone talk about it, but as it's a rewrite, I think we can fall back on BX itself talking about reaction roll. I've always been a pretty decent fan, but one thing I thought is that in some ways it's sort of overpowered, because you're only using 2d6, so your range is 2 to 12, and a +1 or a +2 or a +3 on the reaction roll table, or even penalties on that, the modifiers are massive compared to a +1 on a d20, right? So you're talking 5% to probably closer to 8 or almost 10% bonus. So in some ways, I almost like falling back on the charisma, because that makes the charisma stat matter other than what its bonus is, which is all that's happening in the reaction table. Right. So, but at the same time, I don't really know that I've heard a lot of negativity concerning the reaction table. And I mean, you don't even always even have to roll. So I don't know. I obviously toss in my Arnesonian conflict resolution as well, which is 2d6, but it's not really modified by anything sometimes. So just something to think about, and what you guys think you would want to do in this campaign in the future concerning things like that. Should it always be reaction roll, or should it be a charisma check? I could be swayed either way for sure, which is kind of how I am on anything.
Maybe the result of a charisma check can be a modifier to the reaction roll. If you succeed a charisma check, your roll on the reaction table is 1 step up, and if you fail, it's 1 step down. I know, just
particularly if it might involve like a persuasive ruse or something. I could see that.
Yeah, I've been looking at it lately as luck, as kind of a fill-in for luck, and also like fill in for doing those social things, right? That we don't have really good.
The reaction table as opposed to the charisma table, you mean?
No, I mean using the charisma for check. That, and then reaction table sort of when in response to those things, right? Maybe like Gabriel's talking about giving shifts up or down, or advantage or disadvantage, but I don't think those ideas are really fully baked for me either.
I'm wondering if, thinking about it now, reaction might be, like sometimes I'll do it to decide initially what a character or an NPCs would say, where they are, like, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're seeing, are they hostile, unwary, certain. So you roll the reaction roll to see what place that they are in the beginning of the encounter, and then you would roll anything after that on your ability checks. Maybe that's the way to do it, because that's a way to tell you like what the demeanor of this NPC is right now, which I think kind of initially is what it was created for. But in some ways, why? How does a charisma modify that? Maybe it doesn't. There is no modifier in that situation when you're going to use a reaction roll like that, really, for just like a demeanor. I think, what was it, AD&D, that had two different steps, like you rolled something and this is where they are, and then you could affect it, and then it would tell you how much you change that. I don't know. That's something that occurred to me.
No.
You know what I'm talking about, or no? I don't remember.
I don't know about that mechanic. But I wanted to speak to your main point. Was I do kind of see it that way, and like reaction roll could be like their baseline reaction, and then if you know a PC was to try to do something persuasive or
like feed it Yakim heads,
come up with a ruse or something, then maybe that then maybe either it would be a charisma check for the PC, or at that point there's another roll that
modified charisma at some point, maybe, or whatever. Yeah. I think,
well, that's the way I always thought was that idea of the first time you interact in the baseline, and then either being able to do ability checks, or even just like, for instance, with the bandits, just agreeing to whatever they wanted to do. Well, then there's no roll involved necessarily, but that's then bumping you up on that, the table. Reaction, that table. So basically, getting your baseline. And then you can start doing things to potentially shift that. That makes the most sense.
Or as is often the case, our ideas are just so good that you just tend to give them auto success. That tends to work out well as well.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're rolling the dice, you are losing.
Like items.
That's the fail state of rolling the dice. Maybe go ahead. Sorry, Elliot.
Well, I was going to say that is kind of to that point of, like, for instance, you would get with the Voss worm, you would roll to see where it's at initially, but then like giving it food doesn't necessarily need to be a roll. That's just an auto, like, if that's what it wants and it is happy about that, then that is now bumping it up, right? So there's not necessarily a roll that needs to be involved in that. It's because of coming up with a plan.
The only problem I see with that might be if the GM is coming up with what you have to do in order to be successful in this, then you're losing out on the opportunity for maybe some wild harebrained scheme working. And so you're trying to figure out what I think is the right thing to do, as opposed to just doing what you think is right and then rolling to see if that is going to work. That's kind of...
that's why I like subjective modifiers. Like, I think it's cool for a DM to maybe make a call of like, that's clever, or that's far-fetched, like, +2 to -2, whatever the range is, right? But still have that possibility, even for something far-fetched, or to have like the creative distant failure possibility for even a good idea. I don't know. I still kind of like that being on the table.
And I don't think Elliot was taking that away completely. I think he was just making some description there. Anybody else have anything? Taylor, I don't think we've heard anything from you on this particular subject, other than saw a lot of your head nodding.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about, for unrelated reasons, I'd actually done a little bit of statistics on 2d6 versus 1d20, and I'm internally figuring. So if you think about it, rolling a 7 or better on 2d6, is 7 being the most common possibility. If your target is to roll a 7 or better on 2d6, you have approximately equal probability of success as rolling an 8 on a 20-sided die. At a +1, so you now have to roll a 6 instead of a +1 to the d20. Now you only have to roll a 6, because the number of ways to get a 6 on 2d6 is greater than the number of ways to get a 7 on 1d20. So that's part of the reason I didn't pipe up, because I recognize not everybody is as excited about statistical probability as I can get sometimes. But it's an interesting concept, because if we're talking about stuff like reactions, which typically you succeed on a 9 or some such, and that's the equivalent of rolling a 14 on a 20-sided die, compared to the conversely lower, so 7, 8, 9 versus 7, 6, 5. To beat a 5 or better is the equivalent of rolling a 3. So there's a lot of swing involved, and I'm internally trying to figure out how does this impact a various character. Like, do I have an advantage? Is there a numerical motive to try to do one check versus the other? And not, of course, to try to encourage one check versus the other based on my own stats, but it's a question about the game's design. Is like, what is this? How is this intended to fit together? So I was thinking math.
On all of that, I would say you're right on, except I don't think success is always a 9 or above on 2d6. A lot of times that 6 to 8 range may be enough, because like if you're giving something food, then that could be uncertain. All right, I'm just going to go eat then. So really, it's possible that all you're going to need is a 6 or above on 2d6 unmodified, so less. But if you have a +1 or +2, maybe a +3, the chances for you failing are almost non-existent.
Or low. Yeah. If
Because that's what I would say. 2 to 5 are like actually the potential attack. Anything else is maybe what you would be looking for in a combat type of situation. Now, that isn't necessarily true in, hey, I'm trying to pick up an NPC, or I'm trying to sway this guy to go do what I want them to in a persuasive or deception type of thing, where, you know, in that 6 to 8 range, I'd normally say, all right, you have to do something to change the situation. Or they may not do anything, which could be a success, which may not be. I don't know. That's I totally.
It's what you do on Kalmara when we try to pick up the torchbearers or the men at arms.
It's hard on the reaction roll.
It's uncertain, so we fall into with the 6 or 8, and hey, what are you gonna do to sweeten the deal? Okay, if you want more, a gold piece, okay, roll again. You have +1 or the stuff. So in some cases, the uncertain, it's beneficial when you want to avoid combat, for example. In some cases, you need something else to make it work your way.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And those modifiers are a big deal on 2d6. So if you have a good plan, it has a good plan resulting in a small number will have a big impact on a 2d6 check, compared to a proportional impact. Your good plan would have to have a fiat with a bigger number. So
yeah, I don't know exactly what those numbers are. So what did you say? If what is a +1 change? But it's kind of hard because it's a bell curve, right?
Yeah, it is, and it changes. So if your target is 7, then the equivalent is rolling an 8 on a 20-sided die. So if you have a +1, then it's the.
So when you're saying 8, what is that? 40%? A 40% chance? Oh no, you have a 60% chance of getting an 8 or higher, right?
Pretty much, yep.
And so that's what it is for a 7 as well, 7 or higher, 60%.
Yep. And
so what's a +1 change that by?
A +1 changes it to the equivalent of rolling a 6. So it's a +2 on D20.
So it's like a 10. It increases at 10%, whereas.
Yep.
All right. So I had to change the math so it worked in my brain, which is not a great statistical brain. But so that's some pretty interesting stuff for anybody who's stuck around for all that. I was kind of thinking, though, you know, I usually don't like to interview more than 1 or 2 people on the show on Hobbs and Friends. But in a situation like this, where you actually kind of have a round table where you could talk to each person and see each person's face, you could actually have quite a few people in something like this and do a roundtable vlog or something on Twitch or YouTube. So that's pretty darn cool. I like it. Some people you don't get to hear from a lot unless I go to them. You're gonna hear me all the time, but everybody wants that, right? I don't know. Anyway, so we cover this enough for this today. Yes. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yep.
All right, good. Aaron, are you still there? Are you working on the Lich Way? Is that what's happening right now?
I'm here.
All right. I appreciate everyone who was here. I hope you guys had a Rat Ward's all about the 2d6. Mini thumbs up from the chatters. Thanks again for being here, spectators. My voice is starting to hurt. I got to get some good water, and I need to hear some good music. Bye.
It's a beautiful day in the game, a beautiful day for my gamers. Would you be one? Could you be one? Out of that plunder, but don't despair. This colony's breeding great robbers. Would you be one? Could you be one? If the 80% mortality rate works for you, for a few bucks a month you can sign up and have the Hobbs kill you. So let's make the most of another Sunday. Brew up some coffee and play it my way. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my gamers? Won't you be? Won't you please, please, won't you be my gamers?